What's up YouTube, this is Joe from for War Games, and I'm bringing to you guys the first of my personal mini recordings of the day, and that is going to be Penguins! Because Penguins got tons of new support in Burst of Destiny. All of my stuff finally arrived in the post today, and so I'm very excited to start actually constructing or like deproxying a bunch of my decks, and Penguins was one that I had in the backbone and I just now pretty re-put together. So a bit of the extra deck isn't fully like sleeved or double sleeved and stuff like that, because I'm still kind of tweaking the extra deck a bit, but I put like basic staples that you might be using and like things that you can interact with, so like the main combos in the deck. But the main deck I'm quite happy with, at least as a base build. Again, that can be tweaked on as I go. But there's some very spicy text that I put in the deck that I haven't seen many, if not any, Penguin videos on YouTube actually try and test out. So you're going to see that from me first here on the channel. That you can probably intertwine with your own Penguin deck. So before I get into this, if you enjoy, give it a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. And all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this Penguin deck. I try to keep it relatively budget, because it's Penguins. Like, majority of the inbuilt in like archetype Penguin stuff you can get all as commons. Like, the most expensive Penguin card, no joke, is literally the Great Emperor Penguin, because he jumps around as an OTS super between 5 to like 8 quid here in the UK, which is bonkers. It's a Penguin card. So it's like, and the commons go for the same price. So if you're going to get Great Emperor Penguin, grab the supers, guys, because this is just be worth your money. So again, I try to keep this relatively budget in terms of the main and extra deck. The extra deck you kind of like have to splurge a bit of your money on, but you'll see that as we get to it. So, starting off with the Penguins, I love how Penguin is just now its own deck. Like, it literally all started from Penguin Soldier, and now it's like a whole thing. So, we have Penguin Squire. So, he's a level 5 Aqua Tuner with 1800 attack and 600 defense. Cannot be used as synchro material except with a synchro summon of a water monster. If a monster is set on your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can reduce its level by 1 or 2. So you can become a level 4 or level 3. You can target one face down defense position monster you control, change it to face up defense position, and if you do, its effects are negated unless it is a Penguin monster. You use each effect of Penguin Squire once per turn. The only shame thing is that that last effect isn't a quick effect, because it would be so much better. But he's still really good. I've seen people go from like 2 copies. I like 3 just because I think he's much needed as an in-archetype tuner that you need for the deck. Like, other than, yeah, he's the only in-archetype, well, the other in-archetype tuner, because we've got Glacial Polar Penguin as well. But yeah, so I think to me personally, he's very important, so I'm playing 3 copies of it. But I can definitely see an argument to drop it down to 2. Because again, that last effect isn't a quick effect. He does provide you with an extra body on board, so you can like protect your field and everything like that, but definitely like Penguin Squire is much needed. Combos very well with Penguin Cleric. So he's a level 3 Aqua effect monster with 600 defense, 600 attack and 1700 defense. If a Penguin monsters is sent from your monster zone to graveyard by opponent's card, even during damage step, you can target one of them, discard this card, and if you do, special summon the monster in face down defense position. You can use this effect of Penguin Cleric once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one Penguin monster you control. You gain 600 attack until the end of the turn, and then you gain 600 life. So again, it just provides you with more bodies on board. Being able to put back your Penguin Soldier and the next new card, Penguin Ninja, back to the field in defense position, so you start getting rid of your opponent's back row and front row with the help of your synchro Penguin Brave. Penguin Cleric is just very handy for those scenarios. In terms of the flip penguins, I'm playing 2 ninja and 2 soldier. So Penguin Soldier, we all know what he does. Classic card. Penguin Ninja, another brand new card. Water, level 3, Aqua Flip effect, 1400 attack and 700 defense. Flip. You can target out to 2 spell and trap cards your opponent controls and return to the hand. You can target 1 penguin monster you control, change it to face on defense position. You can use the effect of Penguin Ninja once per turn. So being able to flip back your Penguin Soldier if you have them both on board is pretty handy. I believe he can target himself as well. Yeah, you can target himself as well, so he can put himself back face down. I go for 2 and 2. Is then you have a penguin flip for no matter what deck you're up against. If you're back row heavy, Penguin Ninja is your target. If you're up against monsters, Penguin Soldier is your target. So both very good penguins. So we play 2 of each. Both combo very well with the Nope Penguin. I believe anything that gets bounced is banished. During your player's turn, when an effect of a penguin monster is activated, plus a card from the graveyard, you can use this effect Nope Penguin once per turn. If a card would be returned to the hand from the field by an effect of a penguin, banish it. So yeah, so being able to banish your opponent's back row and monsters with the help of Nope Penguin is very strong. You want to get it in graveyard as soon as possible, so we play 3 copies of it. We play cards at discard and we play cards at send. So you should always be able to get a Nope Penguin in the graveyard at some point in the game. For the other penguins we're playing is the 1 Glacial Polar Penguin. We're mostly playing it because it's a penguin, level 3, that's also a tuner. So we play Glacial Penguin. And then I had to, what I feel like, splurge out for this deck is the Great Emperor Penguin. So you contribute this card, plus summon up to 2 penguins from your deck, except itself. It is a level 5, so you can actually summon it quite easy now thanks to the new continuous spell in the deck, which is pretty good, so you don't have to go through the troubles of actually tribute summoning this card. So Great Emperor Penguin is at least a 1 of. If you can get 1 of it, that should be fine. The deck isn't focused around the Great Emperor Penguin. It is just a nice other good target that you can play in the deck within the Penguin archetype. My other engine, just a little 5-card tuner engine to help go into your Penguin Brave. I've gone away from the the Gen X engine, and I've gone with the Ice Barrier engine just because I feel like they both kind of like admittedly they both share the same number of bricks. You play 2 of these in my personal my personal engine, as opposed to like the vanilla and the monster you send with the Genic engine. But what I like is that this gets a discard out of your hand, so you can discard those Note Penguins. It's just literally then a 1 card Penguin Brave, which then if you discard Note Penguin sets up the entire play for you, which is very strong. What also I like about this is that it has a searcher card. It has its own rotor in the forms of Medallion of the Ice Barrier. So you have a much more consistent engine to get into a Penguin Brave, which is what this personal deck is all about. Get into your Brave, then Brave starts flipping and setting all of your Penguins, and you start controlling the game that way. It is a very controlled deck. It can do heavy damage past turn 1 because your whole board is set up, and even establish more negates and disruptions during your opponent's turn, which is very strong for a Penguin deck. But I, again, personally gone for the Ice Barrier engine for my Penguin Brave Synchro Climb, as opposed to the Genic one. To round up the monsters, apart from 1 spicy tech, which you'll see later on, is the 3 Ash Blossoms. You can play more hand traps if you want. I have gone for also additional hand traps of the 2 Imperm. So you can play any number of hand traps if you want. Again, this is a control deck, so I didn't want this to literally be Penguin engine with like 1,000 hand traps. So I have reduced the number of hand traps to fit in additional synchro engines, additional spicy tech engines as well. So that's what I've gone for here. But you can, in all honesty, just make this deck like Penguin with hand trap deck. But I didn't want to go for that. because that'd be boring. Moving on to spells is 3 copies of the Royal Penguin's Garden. This card is great. So it's a continuous spell. It's weird it's not a field spell, but it's a continuous spell. When this card is activated, add a penguin card from deck to hand. Bear in mind we are getting a... it can search itself, which is pretty funny. Oh no, it can't search itself, except Royal Penguin Garden. We are getting a new equip spell in, I believe, the Brothers of Legend, which is going to be Penguin's Sword. So we are getting another card that we can search off this. But you're mostly just going to be searching your monsters. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can decrease the level of one penguin in your hand or face up in the field by 1 to the end of this turn. Then discard a card. So again, gets those note penguins in the graveyard. Makes Great Emperor Penguin go to a level 4. So Royal Penguin Gardens searches things as well. So it's great. You can literally go this plus a free discard. You can go Garden, grab Great Emperor, then discard then use Gardens to reduce Great Emperor to 4, then discard the card, normal summon Great Emperor Penguin, tribute itself, summon 2 penguins, and then you just go from there. Like, it does this, it sets up a lot for you, which is why you play 3 of it. You gotta play 3 of it. My other searcher card is obviously Medallion. Just gets you to your Ice Barrier engine. I'm playing 2 more consistency cards in the forms of Foolish Bear. I just need to get that Note Penguin in graveyard. The more Note Penguins I have in graveyard, the better. And 1 more, I agree, just to shuffle back bricks I don't want in my hand, like the Ice Barrier Tuner, more importantly. So being able to put those back into deck and draw 3 is pretty strong. 1 Monster Reborn, generic Revival, 1 Cool Planet Grey for just generic hand trap thing. And the last 4 cards in the deck are my Spicy Engine, because if you didn't notice, Penguin Ninja is a ninja. They didn't change how it's spelled like how they did with Synchron Resonator, how they spelt Synchron differently, but it's still pronounced the same. Nope, it is by classification a ninja. So I'm playing 2 copies of Ninjutsu Art of Shadow Sealing, 1 copy of Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation, and the 1 Aether, the Evil Empowering Dragon. Yeah. I wanted to give Penguin Ninja something else to do in the deck. So being a ninja by name, it works for these. So the reason I've gone for 2 of this is because if you don't know what this card does, it's a continuous trap. Tribute a ninja monster to target 1 monster your opponent controls. Banish that target. While that card is banished, its monster card zone cannot be used. When this face-up card leaves the field, return the card banished by this effect to the same monster card zone in the same battle position. So, as far as I know, I don't believe it's had like an errata or anything like that. Again, as far as I know, if I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments below. I still think it's a pretty good card anyway, because it is still spot removal. If you banish a card in your opponent's extra monster zone, they are now locked out of that extra monster zone. And all you have to do is just banish a Penguin Ninja. You banish a penguin, block them out of the extra monster zone. If you got like a Penguin Brave or any of your synchros established in the other one, they essentially cannot summon from the extra X. If they're a Link Heavy Focus deck, good luck on that one. So that's why I've gone for that. If it doesn't work in the extra monster zone, that's fine. Credit down in the comments below for everyone else to see. But it's still being able to just generic spot removal a monster and then lock them out of the zone, so they're still technically playing with 1 less zone, and all you have to do is just have a ninja in play, aka Penguin Ninja. Is still pretty good in my personal opinion. The Ninjutsu Art Super Transformation, you tribute your Penguin Ninja as well as a monster opponent controls and summon a Sea Serpent, Dragon or Dino from your deck whose levels equal to or less than the combined levels. So you just summon this, as long as your opponent has a monster that's level 3 or more, you summon this out, and when this card gets summoned, you banish a card. So additional more spot removal. This literally is a 2 card spot removal. Bear in mind you flipped your penguin, so that's still two more back row that you removed as well. So pretty good to me personally. Spicy text in here that just work synergize naturally in the deck, just because the deck naturally just has a ninja already in the deck. So that's what I gone for there. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Again, as I said at the beginning, the extra deck isn't fully complete. It's just kind of like 15 cards that I feel like personally I can see myself using, and it just needs to be more fine tweaked as I go. But the base establishment is there. Your main boss monster is Penguin Brave. You're going to be summoning this every turn, like every game. You're going to summon this turn 1, and then it just sets up your entire plays from there on. Then is a level 6 generic Aqua Synchro, 2400 attack, 1200 defense. When your opponent cannot target face down defense position monster you control with card effects. You can use each of the following effects from Penguin Brave once per turn. If this card single summon special on Penguin from your deck in face down defense, when your opponent activates a monster effect quick effect, you can flip a face down defense position water monster you control face up. Set to your soldier, set to your ninja. When they activate something, flip it up, remove. Combo it with your Note Penguin. When you summon a monster face on defense, Note Penguin summons itself out, and once you flip, it starts banishing instead. Just literally sets up everything for you, and you're pretty good to go from there. The others I'm going to show you. The next line is going to be what cards that I personally say you should be playing. So your Halcliffe Ibrax, a Formula Synchron, and Desert Locust. Because after that you can go into either something like an Adamantipoda Risen Dragite, or you can go into something like a Crystal Ring or Savage Dragon. These are like the next best things that I personally think you should be playing, because this works with your sub engine to not only establish a Penguin Brave on board, but also Formula Synchron with the Hulk on your opponent's turn gets you a free draw, and then you can turn your Penguin Synchro into one of these 3, or you can use your Desert Locust to whip a card out of the hand, as well as then use that with your level 2 Penguin to go into one of these 3 as well. So all of these are strong effect negators that the deck can just naturally make thanks to this little sub-little engine there. And then the next 6 cards are just like generic waters that you can make that can help remove threats on your opponent's board. So things like White or Whale just clears boards off completely. Trishula, if you can get the levels in there. The deck can make 7s and 6s very strong. So White or Monos, Coral Dragon, Brio, and then Trishula the Sub-Zero if you can make the higher levels as well. These can be whatever you want personally. I think Coral Dragon, Brio, and White Aura are probably the next best cards I'd possibly be playing. So I'd probably put those next there. And then the last 3 slots can just literally be whatever you want. So that's that. But that, guys, is the Penguin deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think of this deck. How are you playing your Penguins? Do you think the Ninja tech is as spicy and strong and funny as I think it is? I think it's great. It's so good. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.